when thinking about everything in the past, I think the main reason why I became a health coach was because of experiences, not just with my own health, but with others around me, whether they be family or friends or just people that I kind of knew that were around me. And I started to see this trend of them going to the doctors, them getting the okay, that you're okay, and the person, whoever it was, whether it was myself or the friends or fam, they were not necessarily okay. These doctors were saying, hey, we checked your blood test, everything came out fine, but there's always, that lingering problem, whether it's pain, inflammation, or some weird stuff happening within the body that was not being addressed. So that led me uh, to start doing this. But the main driver that really pushed me over is having my own experience, and that was back in 2019 around December, right about almost middle December, a little bit before. I had this sudden onset of ringing in the ears, and there could be many reasons for that, but I'm not going to get into that. But um, and just like terrible sleep, just like all of a sudden I got hit with this like brick wall. And so when I think about it, I think, this could have been just an accumulation of things, which I think is what happens, which is the cause of this stuff. It's not just diet, um, and sleep, it's, stress also, and just toxins around us, mold exposure, EMF radiation, just exposures to everyday living. And when we are not keen or we don't pay attention to these things affect us later in life. So, for the sole reason of becoming a coach, it was my own experience that did it. Just feeling like straight absolute trash, trying everything to relax and just to feel better. And, you know, it was just a painful, it lasted. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm still kind of going through it to this very day. And that's why I continue to push and strive and try to thrive. Um, but like for a whole year, just sitting there feeling drained and sapped and just like straight trash. So I started to get the consult of alternative medicine, functional holistic people. I started listening to other doctors. I was talking at the same time to MDs and DOs and advanced practitioner nurses, and I would do their tests, I would do their ultrasounds, I would do their blood work, and they couldn't see anything. And the reason why is because they don't dig enough. They don't do enough comprehensive testing. So I sought this other care, this alternative care, and I started doing some testings for a wider range, a more spectrum range of things. And then I started to see um, some things going on. There was some infections going on, past infections, and also like overgrowth of certain, dysbiosis, an imbalance of good and bad bacteria overgrowing. And even though I had a lot of good bacteria, um, the bad bacteria were stronger. So, just taking natural herbs to try to balance that out, or not balance it out, but to make it into a healthy uh, balance, so to speak. Like, because the bacterias are not necessarily all eradicated, it's just when one overgrows more than the other, or specific bacterias. specifically in the large intestine. And so, yeah, just feeling going through the motions every day, just waking up. I thought I had this, I thought I had that. I would go on the WebMD and just check all these like symptoms. I'm like, man, I got everything here. So, fast forward to now, um, it's such a journey because it kind of gives you a good aspect of like how simple health can be, but also how complicated it can be, and specifically how to address these problems, and having that specific order, which I'll probably get into in the future. I'm not sure, making videos or maybe a course, but I'll try to share that information with people that are interested in that. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy, like when you start to understand these things and you start to see it, you do kind of, you build this respect more for people that are in the medical field, but at the same time you kind of become your own, because this is your body. You know what you feel more than anybody else can tell you, unless they run tests and they can say, oh well, yeah, we see this, but you essentially are you receive those signals from your very own body. So you have to pay attention to these things. And that's what I've been noticing too, just kind of like, with food, with sleep, with whatever it is, exercise even, because a lot of people tell you to push it, exercise every day, no days off, this and that. You hear all this stuff, and sometimes that's not good. It depends on the state of your health. There's a lot of things you can do too, like just testing like where you're at and just checking, to see if you should do something. Because I think what happens is that a lot of times, the symptoms, we don't feel that until that accumulation or that threshold is hit, or it goes over a threshold. And then once we hit that area and we start feeling the symptoms, and we're like, whoa, what's going on? Or, we get sick often or out of nowhere, then we're like kind of caught off guard. But I believe, I think when you start looking at your health and you start looking at everything that you're doing, you start to pay attention. You start studying for yourself. Not necessarily saying that you're your own doctor per se, because you still should work with professionals or people that know how to handle protocols and do certain things. But you definitely want to be enlightened and have this knowledge so that you can make uh, better decisions before you taking certain herbs or drugs or whatever it is. And just better to like just assessing yourself and seeing how you progress, because in the end of the day, like what I've said in my previous videos, we all want optimal health. So yeah, I felt like I wanted to share this and make this video with you guys, because it shows you the journey, the progress, or like just hearing my story. Perhaps you have your own story that you would like to share, and I say, hey, anything you want to say or you want to express, you can put it right down there in the comments. You can like, you can share, you subscribe, you can do all that. I'm not saying you have to, but I look forward to putting quality stuff out on this channel, and just talking, and seeing other people's journey, seeing my own journey and sharing that with other people, because it does get confusing out here, especially but for instance, diets, like there's just a whole spectrum of diets. Keto, there's paleo. It's a little bit different than keto. There's whole food, plant based. You have the standard American diet, which it's getting a lot of a lot of bad rep on it. It's not really sustaining. It's Yeah, and but like, it's just understanding the body. Like, are we moving around enough? Are we getting the sunlight on our skin for vitamin D? Uh, in general, are we getting that sunlight in our eye to kind of help with our brain and its systems to, like, then help that circadian rhythm with that cortisol and melatonin balance? You know, just it's a lot of things, to understand the body. And once you understand it, like, the more you understand it, the more you become um aware, and you can kind of seek that harmony and that homeostasis that you want, that optimal health. Well, anyways, guys, I just wanted to share this with you, and I'll see you in the next one.